For the last few days, I've been experimenting with image and video tools, and I've been using different models in different tools. And I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys what I resulted out of all of that experimenting, what my thought process was, and what the trial looked like. So, what all the images that went together with it look like. And so we're gonna just start off with what I did is I went to Pinterest and I just like took any image I like and I just dragged it into using Adobe Firefly, the board tool. I think it's pretty good. It works pretty nice. Um, but I don't think like my conclusion out of image tools, it doesn't really matter where you use them. Um, it's pretty much the same everywhere. It's just some places a little bit more convenient and some it's a bit less convenient. But what I did is I just gathered basically any image and every image I like. Like I like, kind of like these animal images, and then I also looked at the Hermes website, which I just took some components and I just looked at them, and then I searched for similar components on Pinterest, which this was the result. And so I kind of like them, and then I thought I might take something like this as background. I didn't end up doing that, and then what I did is I just took the name I want to use for this, for the branding, which is JoFlo, and then I just looked for fonts I like, and I just basically then wrote it out just to get an idea of what it would like. And I just had AI make me a few images of what a full website could look like. And so this is what I resulted with. Let me make it a little bit bigger. This is what I resulted with. Like, of course, the information and the actual images aren't like per se perfect, but this were like my first results of just like looking if I could make a website with like what I imagined to do. And so then I very quickly I made a new board because Adobe was being a bit laggy. And so what I did is I then experimented with different like spelling out JoFlo because I saw the font and I thought it was pretty cool. Um, in my head I was like getting the name in a really cool font or like a different language could look pretty cool. And so what I did is I just translated it into different languages, and then what I ended up with is like I tried a few languages. I tried Arabic, Japanese, Chinese, um, and then what I ended up with is this, which is Korean, and so it's Joe, and then it's Flow spelled in Korean, which I thought fits pretty well. And then the idea for the website was I basically make a video animation of zooming in through ink, and so then we basically just like when you scroll you just like go through the ink, and then you end up seeing the logo. And so that was my idea more or less for it. And then I wanted to have a like a logo and icon going with it, and so I experimented around, and I kind of like this was kind of I tried different colors, and then I went through basically like just like trying all kinds of different things. Like this was something I ended up with, which this one I actually did like, but the issue I came to find with in general this type of character as logo is you don't really see it. Like if it's too detailed, you can't really place it anywhere where it's small, and I didn't like that. And so what I did is I tried to make it simpler, and then I ended up with this. The issue with this is I don't really like it, and so like I have like finalized on this being the way I spell the JoFlo, but I really like it's fine and it's okay, but I don't love it, and so I might still change it. And then this was one I was highly considering because it's not that detailed, but I really liked the way it looked and it fits really well with the Korean spelled flow. So putting it all together, what I've learned and what I recommend is I went in and just started generating with no idea of what it should look like. And so from what I've got gathered now and experience, I would recommend getting a very clear idea of what the branding or logo should look like before you even start generating your first image. And then try to get very precise. And then you just have to generate a few, and then you're probably gonna get the result you want. Um, but yeah, AI is terrible at making a good branding or a logo or icon or whatever. If you don't have something very precise in mind, if you have something very precise in mind, it actually does a pretty decent job. But unless you've got that, it's terrible, and I really can't recommend using any AI image or video tool for that. But what I found AI worked pretty well too for as well is, like I said, making animations for website. So I made a few different ones. Let me see if I can play one so you guys can see what I mean. Oh, yeah, okay, it's not, it's being a bit laggy. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, no, but basically, you just gotta ask AI to write you a prompt for to make a video, and then I recommend using just the best model, just the best model you can possibly get with the tool you use, and then you just basically give it the prompt for whatever concept you have in mind. For me, it's now this ink going through water, and then like you zoom in, and then I can make a transition to my logo. But you can really do whatever, and this works pretty well. So those are like the two use cases where AI image and video models are actually useful. And so that's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna wrap it up, and there's like one thing still to say, which is if you wanna like find out if I fail or if I succeed, you gotta subscribe. So go ahead and do that.